All right, guys, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. First off, welcome to the Pre-Market Live. Today is Monday, July 18th, guys, 9:11 a.m. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Basically, this morning I'm going to be going over kind of the same thing we went over on the Sunday scan, but it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to be covering some pre-market levels. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and cover QQQ, guys. QQQ gapped up overnight in overnight futures trading, guys, and we did test that 296 level. First off, I do want to welcome everybody that's new. I know we had some new people in over the weekend. Welcome. This is the pre-market stream. This is where I go over my plays for the day, things that I'm going to be looking at, my top focus setups, and just really in general my plan for the morning. After this, I'm going to go ahead and hop on the Discord live voice trading. So you can go over to Discord live voice, hit the live trading channel. It's going to have a little speaking emoji next to it, and you'll be able to listen to me live trading the entire day. I will hop back on the YouTube live stream for a video stream a little bit later today, and then again in Power Hour. So I'll be on live video trading for about an hour and a half to 2 hours today, and I'll be on the live voice trading as long as I'm in positions or from 9:30 until about 11:30, 12. I'll take lunch, and then I'll be back on at 2 o'clock. So again, guys, this is definitely an area we want to watch on QQQ. Just to want to kind of recap that big daily level, guys, where we've seen that double top is at that 296.75 level. The 296.75 to 296.80 area is going to be a key watch for me. We did reject that area this morning in pre-market trading, not like a huge rejection, but we did test 296, not to the penny at that 296.75 resistance, but we did test 296, and then we have come down since. Obviously, Goldman reported a positive earnings this morning. That's good for the bank names. Citi obviously had a great earnings report on Friday. So definitely a decent start to the earnings calendar thus far, guys, in terms of that long side sentiment. I do want to talk about QQQ quickly. First off, guys, really key level to watch is going to be at this 294.88 level, guys. This was our support in pre-market prior to the move down to 294.19. So off of open, we're going to go ahead and want to watch for a reclaim of that 294.88 level. If we do not reclaim that off open, it is likely that we're probably going to go ahead and retest 293.18. That is the top of that daily candle area here, guys. If we look at the daily chart, right, that 218 to 293.18 to 293 zone, right in that zone right there, guys, is going to be key to watch. Obviously, our high of the day from Friday, guys, we gapped up to this 292.35 area. So we do want to pay attention. If we break down under 294, we could see a move down to the 292 to 293 zone. That would be an area I'd be looking to get long off of. Oftentimes on these big gap ups, traders will want to see a retest. However, that doesn't always have to hold true. We could see support form at this 294.19 level and then gap to the upside. So getting a little bit of a move down into open. Obviously, guys, the really big resistance here is going to be at 296.16. So remember that if we are, gapping up, right, you may see some stall in long side trades if we get close to that 296 level because of the fact that that is a larger scale resistance on the overall market. So we do want to go ahead and keep that on watch because you don't want to get trapped long on trades at a bigger resistance on the Qs. Obviously, that's a daily resistance and a larger time frame resistance. So going to be important to keep that on watch. Some other things that I am going to be watching. I want to cover my top focus setups for this morning. Obviously, guys, crypto has gapped up in a big way. We did test that 22.4 area and have rejected and now have come down to 22.2K. Crypto looks extremely, extremely strong, guys. This is definitely going to be an area that I am focused on. If Bitcoin can hold this 22.2K level into this 22K area, that is definitely bullish and would probably signal a move back to the 22.5. Over 22.5K is where I would see opportunity long side on these crypto names. There's no reason to rush or FOMO into things, guys. This is still a patience pays type of market, absolutely. So really, guys, that's going to be an area that I'm focused on if we see a dip down into this 22.1 to 22.2K. remember, guys, just like the NASDAQ is coming into big resistance, we're coming into bigger resistance on the Qs and Bitcoin as well. So just important to keep that on watch. As far as my focus setups off open, guys, AMC is going to be a name that I am watching closely. No real news related reason why here, but because of the fact that this daily candle is set up so nicely, guys. So on Friday, we retested this zone at that 15 area, 1475 to 15 area. Our low of the day was 1471 on Friday, and then we saw this big kind of wick to the upside, push that candle body up. So if we can break over this 1565 area, which is where we've seen a lot of resistance, guys, I do think we have a good chance at testing this 1621 to 1615 area. This is going to be a major area of resistance right at that 1614 zone, guys. If we can break through 1620, this is an A+ setup for me. This is one that we've been talking about for a couple weeks. D-Book nailed this one last time. We didn't break resistance 2 weeks ago, or last week, excuse me. But if you guys look at the daily and zoom out a bit, guys, you can really see how much room there is above this level, right? At that 1620 break, guys, we'd really have an A+ setup to the upside where we'd likely test that 19 area. So targets above that, guys, would be that 1720 area that I mentioned on Twitter. So if we see a break above 1620 and can hold it and we see good volume in here, guys, I'm definitely going to be watching the 17 calls on AMC. Again, this is an A+ opportunity. It's a name that has pretty much unlimited liquidity in terms of on the equity, guys, and so it moves really well. It trades smoothly on the options. They're, relatively nicely priced, we'll put it that way, right, in terms of the fact that they really are offering really nice risk to reward in terms of how much of a move they're pricing in. That's one of the reasons I like it. This one tends to go with the more speculative crypto growth names, right? So just really a setup that I'm going to be patient on, but 1620 break here, guys, definitely an A+ setup for me. I'll be waiting for 15-minute confirmation and looking to get long on the 17 calls if we see that setup. A reject off that level can play nicely to the downside, but it's all going to be about gauging relative strength here. So based on that daily candle, I am going to be slightly long side bias here on AMC and looking for a move to the upside. Chip names are very, very strong today as well, guys. I do want to mention that. NVIDIA, TSM, etc. NVIDIA is already above that 160-60 area that I talked about in terms of a possible breakout. For me, guys, I think there's a little bit better risk reward in other parts of the market. So nothing that I'm going to be really intently focused on, but this can see a nice move this week back to that 174 level. So I am going to have it on watch for the NVIDIA challenge, etc. Now, the main setup that I'm going to be watching off open is a sector that hasn't seen as big of a move yet, but it had a really, really nice day on Friday, and for a certain reason, right? So let's talk about TAN, the Invesco Solar ETF, guys. This is going to lead the solar sector as a whole, and this is going to be my top watch off of the open. I'm really just going to go off the daily here, guys, but you can clearly see we had a perfect daily candle trap on TAN. We had that big flush out on Friday morning, guys. I'll go ahead and show you the 15-minute here from Friday. You can see that we flushed all the way down to this 65.90 level, which is a big area of support, and then we saw a massive rebound to the upside, right? So what that illustrated for me is that we saw that daily candle trap almost take place perfectly to a T. So if we can see, right, and this is what you have to remember, is when you see those daily candle traps, oftentimes the next day you see continuation to the upside. And this is also a sector that isn't getting a ton of attention, but is a fantastic technical setup, and that is one of my favorites to trade. So again, we daily candle traps right here at this 69 zone between 68.74 and 69. So TAN is going to be a top watch for me off of the open because it has a lot of room back to this 75 to 78 level. And we talk about this all the time, but stocks trade in patterns. The last time we tested 65.90, we saw a big gap up the next day, and we continued that move to the upside into the 73.74 area. I think we'll see that kind of repeat here as long as the overall market holds up, right? So it's going to be really important to watch the volume off of the open here. These solar stocks do trade a little bit lighter volume, and they are sometimes a little bit of, slower movers. The spreads on the TAN options are not very good. So the reason that I'm mentioning TAN, though, is because it will guide all of the other plays, which are going to be ENPH, WPR, etc., right? Array swing, right? But SPWR is going to be one of my top watches off the open, guys. This one does have the weekly contract expirations here. And I really, really like this for a move to the upside into this 1830 resistance area, as long as we can clear the 1650 to 1680 area. If we see strong buying volume on tan off open, this is going to be one of my top watches. I'll be looking at the 17C. Those contracts have had a nice pullback over the last few days to the last week. And I do think that solar is primed to see a nice move to the upside. These stocks like to make their big move of the day within that first 30 to 45 minutes. So this is where my focus is going to be off open. I feel like this one, they don't need as long to settle off the open. So this is definitely one that I like off of open here, guys, in the first 10 or 15 minutes. If we see that strong buying volume on tan, this is where my focus will be. I'll be looking for a move to that 17 area, 1677. Again, the spreads on this one are good. The contracts are not as super. None of the solar contracts are going to be highly traded in terms of volume because they're just not as active as some other things, but they offer fantastic opportunities, guys. So really, I do think the solar setups are fantastic. Run is another one. However, that's only monthly contracts. But I really do like this SPWR setup. This is one that I've traded in the past when solar has made a move. So I do like this for a move to the upside. Now, again, I'll be watching the 16.5 and 17 calls off of open, guys, and this is really going to be my top focus initially off of the open. So solar is a big watch for me, guys. If you're going to be trading SPWR, if I'm trading it and you're going to be trading alongside, ENPH and TAN are good names to have up. So again, these have come down, retested support, and seen extremely strong buying pressure off of it. So they're definitely going to be my top watches going into today. Now, another name that I'm also going to be watching off open is Rivian, RIVN. This one has seen a really clean pre-market. It's actually seeing increasing volume as we've kind of progressed into pre-market, guys. So this is definitely a really interesting one for me. As if we can get over that 3267 area, especially. So again, guys, we had a lot of resistance at 3271. If we see a break over this 3271 area, guys, I would look to get long on this and then have a tight stop because we are coming into a big area of supply here into the 3350 to 3420 area. However, I think the sentiment around EVs is good. I think that Tesla has a solid chance to have a bigger day. And if we see Tesla go alongside this, guys, I'm definitely going to be focused on Rivian as the sympathy trade. I just am more comfortable trading Rivian. I know the tape better. I've been trading it almost nonstop for the last 3 weeks. So Rivian is definitely going to be a top focus for me. Rivian always needs about 15 or so minutes to settle. So initially off open, guys, main focus will be on TAN, SPWR, the solar names, and then based on what we see after that, definitely going to be watching Rivian, Tesla, and some of those other names, right? Really, guys, it is important to remember we're coming into some resistance on a lot of these names, right? So it's going to be important to remember, guys, that, hey, coming into resistance, we're either going to get that larger scale breakout or we're going to have a bigger move to the downside. So for me, I always like to size down at first, can always size in once the trade confirms and then go from there. But Rivian, absolutely a top watch for me today off of the open, guys. It's going to be one that I'm hyper focused on as we go into the open, guys, first 20 or so minutes. So again, just to recap quickly, guys, SPWR, top focus name off of open alongside TAN, TAN, that's the Invesco Solar ETF. I think this could offer a nice opportunity. I'm going to go smaller in size here if I take this trade just because of the way the contracts trade. I don't want to be super heavily sized into something that isn't actively trading, like thousands and thousands of contract every hour. But this is, these are going to trade fine. It's just they move a little bit different than like NVIDIA and things of that nature. And they move closely alongside TAN. So just something that small-ish size, probably half size of what a normal position would be for me. So if I, on a 45K account, if I normally took a $4,500 position, maybe my TAN position would be $2,500, right, in total value when I take it. So, and again, it doesn't trade the same way as Rivian or Tesla, but they trade, really nicely and provide great moves when the sentiment and theme is there. So Solar, definitely top initial watch off open. Do want to keep an eye on ARK, ARKK, guys. We are looking to get over this 45.29 area. That's a little bit of a bigger resistance area, so a move over 45.29, and the growth names can see a big move up, right? And so that's why I really like Rivian. This is going to be a top focus for me off open. As long as we can get through that 45.29 area, then we should see a big move to the upside. Pre-market high here on ARK was that 45-46 zone, so keep that on watch as well for a break over. So those are my top focus setups off the open, guys. We have 3 minutes until market open. Obviously, it's a Monday, so I'm not trying to dive too deep into things and cover too many things. Those are going to be my 3 main focuses off open, and then we will go ahead and attack the day in front of us. So remember, guys, let the market prove it. Make it prove it. It's got to deserve your capital, and then we'll see where we go from here. Obviously, I'll be going through all of my trades on Live Voice in about 1 minute, and I'll see you guys on the Discord Live Voice. Peace out.